Okay, here's an introduction to the next standard. Now, it's a lot about slopes and M and B. So, on this graph, the y is by itself. Okay, so that's what we call slope-intercept form. Write that down. Okay, now I could use a table where I put 0, 2, 4 in for x because we have a 2 in the denominator, but just on this one, I want you to graph with slope y-intercept. So it's y equals mx plus b. So this is my m and this is my b. M's called our slope, b's called our y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 3 and the slope is negative 1 over 2. So I go plot my y-intercept point at 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now from that point, I'm going to move. Slopes rise over runs. So since my top number is negative, that's a rise down and then to the right. So 3, I go down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. Okay, so then I make my line, and there's my 3 points. Okay, let's go to the back page. I'm skipping problems in this so it ain't so long. Okay, again, the y is by itself, so that is in slope-intercept form, 2. Okay, so the m is 5, the b is negative 2. So slope and y-intercept. Now you want your m to be a fraction, so you can just put a 1 under it. So my y-intercept's negative 2, and then the slope is 5 over 1. So on the y-axis, this is your y. You go down 2. And then from that point, since the phi is positive, I go up 5 and right 1. Okay, and then I have my line. Essentially accomplishes the same thing. So, I want you to look at this second problem here. Okay? I want to write the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points, negative 2, negative 6, and negative 4, 8. Okay? So first I need to find my slope, the number that multiplies the x. And slope, I already said, is rise over run. So the rise is the y, the differences in your y's, and the run is the differences in your x's. Okay, so the y's, I'm going to have negative 6 and 8. So negative 6, 8. And then the run, I'm going to have negative 2, negative 4. Okay, negative 6 minus 8 is negative 14. And then minus negative is plus plus. So that's 2. That's going to give me negative 7 when you divide. So negative 7 times x. Now to find your y-intercept, you use this y equals m times x plus b formula. We got to pick one of these two. Either one of them works. I'll go with this one. Okay, so let's get rid of our y. That's 8. The m is negative 7. And the x is negative 4. So negative 7 times negative 4 is 28, and then plus b. So I got to get rid of the 28. It's positive, so I subtract it. 8 minus 28 is negative 20, and then b. Okay? So the equation for that line is negative y equals negative 7 times x plus negative 20. Okay. Now let's skip to the story problem. I want to watch this a second, because this is a lot of what you're going to be doing on the next standard. A camp charges a registration fee and $24 per day. A camper is paid $338 for 12 days. This includes a registration cost. How much will 30 days cost? Okay, this is not a DV problem. Okay, we are going to need the line. There is a number that goes here. I just don't know what it is. Okay, I don't know where the cost began. To illustrate more on that, what two words do I have underlined? Dollars and days. The days is X, the dollars is Y, so per, dollars per day. The dollars per day is clearly 24. That's my rate of change every single day. It goes up by $24. However, we think there's something here, but I don't see anything before that. But there was something. There's a registration fee, and it's not direct variation, so that means we got to find what goes here. Because we know we got 24 here, but I don't know what the beginning amount was. Well, in a story problem, that is what y equals m times x plus b is for. All right, when I write this on a story problem, I need to also write combo, means combination. What you need to do is look for a combination of dollars and days. That'd be $338 for 12 days. So jot that down, $338, 12 days. After you know what your combo is, you can get rid of these three things. And we know the M is going to be the 24. Okay, so Y. What's Y over here? Y is dollars. So which one of those two is dollars? It's 338. And then times the X, which is going to be days, which is 12. So equals, we have 338. And then I take 24 times 12 to give me 288 plus B. Okay, we got to move that 288 over there. So minus 288, minus 288, and 50 equals B. So we now know that the beginning registration is 50. So now I just write the equation like I always do down here. I've got 50 plus 24. Now that's every day, so I don't know how many days that is. So X equals Y. Okay, so now my job is to find the cost of 30 days. That's the last number, so 30 days. Now where would we put 30 days? Would that go in for X or Y? Well, days is X. It's got to go in for X here. So 50 plus 24 times 30 equals Y. So I just got to use my calculator and figure what 50 plus 24 times 30 is. 770. And that's your cost. Okay, found it. Okay, the next problem, not a DV problem. There's a Y at the beginning you're going to have to figure out. Hurricane's traveling toward the coast of the United States. 1 hour after meteorologists begin tracking it, it is 216 miles from the coast. 5 hours after they begin tracking it, it's 144 miles from the coast. Find how long it will take the hurricane to be 0 miles from the coast. And by that I mean from the time they started tracking it, how many hours have passed before it's there on the coast, 0 miles. Okay, so I've got hours and miles. That's X and that's Y. Okay, so per, miles per hour. Well, reading through that problem, it doesn't appear I know the miles per hour, but it's not a DV, so I can't just say, oh, don't know it, and say, oh, well. No, you're going to have to know that because you're going to need an M right there, okay? When I don't know my rate of change and I know that I need my rate of change to fill out this line, I need to use the Y minus Y divided by X minus X formula. So the Y is miles. So what are my miles numbers? I have 216 miles and 144 miles. So 216 minus 144. And then the hours are 1 and 5. So 1 and 5. So I get 72 over negative 4, and that's negative 18. Okay. Negative 18 miles per hour. Now, the reason that negative makes sense is because look at what's happening to your miles. They're decreasing. The distance between the hurricane and the coast is decreasing as the hurricane moves closer. Okay, so negative 18. Now, what comes before the negative 18 miles per hour? I have no idea, because the reason I don't is because negative 18 wasn't even in this problem. I don't know where I started, but I know I started somewhere. Otherwise, it would be a dv. Y equals m times x plus b. Okay, and I need my combo then on a story problem, a combination of one of each unit. So the 1 hour and 216 miles would work, okay, because those go together. It clearly says in the problem after 1 hour it's 216 miles. Okay, so now I can get rid of these three things because I know my m is negative 18. Now y is miles, so I need to use the 216 for y, and then the 1 for the x. So how did I get to 216 miles? Well, I had been going down 18 miles for 1 hour, so that's a total of negative 18 miles plus b. Now I'm going to add the 18 onto the 216, and that tells me where we started, 234. Okay, so my equation, we started with 234 miles, and then we're adding negative 18 miles every hour, so x equals y. Okay, so 0 miles, it's miles, so which letter's miles? It's y. Okay, so then when I'm solving for x, I need to box that up. I need to get rid of 234. Negative 18x, and then negative 234. And that is 13. So it took 13 hours from the time they spotted the hurricane till the time it's going to hit the coast.